with that, we're just done. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Dorks and Bolts. Today we are at the Mad Scientist Lab, where I am going to attempt to create out of this stock that only has this button for just the board control, the computer, the onboard computer. I am going to swap it with this one that has the automatic headlights button. So let's go. Let me give you a little bit of background on this story. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to retrofit the High Beam Assist on my car. This is part of another big project, which is retrofit of camera, the CAFAs, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But for now, I found this part on eBay, and the problem was that it was cracked. And for this reason, I found it kind of like came out on a deal, and since I'm doing everything on a very strict budget, this was my choice. And as you can see, the production date for this, it was 2013, and my car was also done in October 2013. So these parts are almost the same, except that this one has the High Beam Assist and this one, which is mine, doesn't. What I'm gonna try to do is switch this stock from this broken unit to this one right here. So let's see how it goes. So we're gonna start by opening this casing. I think that for this job we're gonna just use a pick tool, a flat screwdriver, and a T8 Torx screwdriver. So the first thing we see here is that we have 3 Torx screws on the back that hold the stock, but since we are already here, why not explore a little bit farther and see what else we have in this. If you can see here, in between these two things, there's a pin that we just kind of like need to pry apart. This thing's like that, and it just pops out. You pry them apart, they will just pop out, and then we can just open this up. And there we go. We have the case cracked open. I'm just gonna put this back in so we don't accidentally remove something that we cannot put back after. So there we go, and here we are. So for this, we're gonna see if we need to remove actually just this stock, and maybe we just need to connect this ribbon to the other one, and with that we're just done. Alright, so let's start by removing the 3 screws in the back. Let's see what happened. What could possibly go wrong, right? Famous last words. So hopefully somewhere in here we will be able to find another kind of ribbon connector that would allow us to remove that without suffering that much. But it appears that we're not gonna be that lucky. It would be too easy. And if I've learned something, is that when you do this and things appear to be too easy, something's wrong. Alright, so we're gonna remove this cover here. Let's see what we got. So yep, we got a full case that it's totally enclosed and we're not getting anywhere with this. We tried to figure it out what we have on the one side and the other side. The ribbons are completely different, so I don't think we can just swap them. So at this point we are basically stuck. I'm gonna try to kind of unhinge this. And see what we have. And I don't think we're gonna get that lucky, so might as well put it back. So what I think we're gonna have to do is just remove this old thing from this unit, and we're gonna replace it with mine that is in fairly new condition. So we're gonna be very careful to remove it from mine, and we're gonna solder this on this dash, on this cluster, I would say. Alright, so let's get to it. This clock spring is completely mangled. We are not going to be able to reuse it. We are going to remove the one that I have from my car, and we're going to put it on this existing, let's say, thing. I forgot the name. So anyway, let's start. So same procedure. To remove this one, we're gonna do the same without trying not to break this ribbon. So we are gonna go and do this very, very carefully. All right, we've removed the ribbon without breaking it, which is already a great step. But now we have to somehow replace this on the other one. Let's see how we do that. Okay, so we added some soldering paste here and some flux, and now we're gonna do the soldering. All right. Okay, so we have it all soldered. It doesn't look too bad. Could be worse, considering that I am a terrible electrician. So now we are going to just put this together. There we go. We have the buttons here functional, and now it's time to go test it in the car. It would be a great idea to put it first in. So just lift the cover and just slide it in. Make sure that it's well seated all the way to the back on both sides, and you can now clip the cover on the top here and the other one on the other side. There we go. Ah, never mind, you don't have to clip it first, you have to put the screws first. Okay, so you have to, don't forget to put the screws here and here. With these two plugs in place, make sure they are clipped. And now we are going to put these screws here. and they don't necessarily need a lot of force to go in. So just hand tight them, it's fine, and make sure you do not cross thread them. Just like slowly take your time and make sure they go in. So, you know, just tie them in a cross pattern, making sure that they go in straight. All bolts are in. And now to put the bottom cover, don't forget that there are two plugs. One is here on this side, which is the sensor for the key, and the other one, if you have the heated steering wheel, you'll have it on this side. So this is the plug for the heating steering wheel, and right next to the other side is the sensor, the antenna for the remote. The best way to put this in is just move this lever down and push your steering wheel all the way out and up, so you have plenty of room for playing a match of whatever in here. So then what you need to do is just align this at the very back. You have this two kind of like, you see this? Okay, let me see, the camera focuses here. So you have this little guide where this other guide should go in, this, and you should just light it up and it should just clip all together. And same thing on the other side, the guide is right here, and you have this other one on this other side. Once those are in, you have 1, 2, and 3 pins that have to just click when you push them up on both sides. So you can see on that side, you just press this up. You don't have to put a lot of force, they just go in by themselves. And now to put the bottom part, you just have to make sure they lined up, and most important, make sure that this goes under the one that goes on the top. If you don't do that, it's a pain in the butt to get it back out. And then you just firmly press from the top and it will just clip in. There you go. And now we do the same thing on the other side. Now the steering wheel is pretty simple. Just, you know, put it like any steering wheel would do. Just remember you have a mark that you have to make sure they align. You have a little mark here on the steering wheel and one on the actual column that they have to match up. Then you just press this, put all your connectors back in. There you go. All right, steering wheel back on. Everything seems to be okay. This works. All right, we test that everything kind of clicks. It does. Okay, cool. So let's plug the battery back in. Since, as you know, we'll be working with the airbag, it's better to always remove the battery to avoid having problems with that. And trust me, after a while you're gonna become very familiar on removing the battery on this car. It's a lot of stuff goes in and out all the time. All right, so here goes nothing. All right, we seem to have everything working so far. Okay, now let's see if we can see if this works. All right, button is not doing anything, but at least we know the high beams work. All right, this works. Perfect. This works. Yeah, So everything seems to be okay. We don't have any alarms, we don't have anything popping out, so we are all good. Now what's left to do, it's called the button so it actually does something. In a future episode I will code this to make the high beams work with the camera, with the CAFES camera and everything else, to make the installation complete. So until then, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned. Bye.